welcome back to the Contrarians. This is another edition of our little tiny show of almost YouTube shorts, but not quite a short enough to be a short, called Reliving Old Reviews is a Useless Tool of Confusion, where we look at an old review and see if the writer could get it right there, boots on the ground, for some old classic album that has lasted for years and years and years in most cases here. So today we're going to look at Melody Maker. The writer is CW. There's a review of Yes, the Yes album, and it actually gets a title. The title is Yes, Yes, Yes. So we know it's going to be a positive review, and there's even a little inset picture of Steve Howe of Yes, lasting music, it says. By the way, you know that I have these Yes visual biographies. I've got visual biographies of about 7 or 8 of these different bands, but the Yes one is now 2 big, thick, heavy books. They're kind of expensive, but check out martinpopoff.com for those. I can sign them, send them out. There's PayPal buttons, all that kind of stuff. So let's take a look at what they say here. Yes, the Yes album. A quality of sound and music has been unleashed that will surprise even hardcore Yes admirers. At last, their 3rd album gives justice to the band many believe is the finest in Europe. So they say Yes has a great reputation here, and there are changes afoot. One of the finest bands in Europe and America. The songwriting and instrumental ability has always been well known. Oddly enough, I recall a musician from another group complaining that Yes should write their own material. Gently, it was explained that all the excellent songs he admittedly enjoyed were originals by Chris Squire, John Anderson, and Steve Howe. But Yes music has a tendency to sound more rounded, mature, and lasting than most group riffs. Their songs sound as if they must be standards like Yours Is No Disgrace, I've Seen All Good People, and the melodies that make up the 3-section Starship Trooper. From the first bars, the vibrations emitted somehow guarantee that this will be a hit album. There's a consistently high standard of engineering and production, which conveys the 3 major facets of the group's style and appeal. These are the sensitive lyrics and vocal styles of John Anderson, who also receives fine vocal support from Chris and Steve. Instrumental sophistication and good taste is in arrangements. The individual artistry of musicians like guitarist Steve Howe and drummer Bill Bruford. Now they have managed to combine all the delights which make Yes such a popular and satisfying stage act. One can enjoy their albums without the feeling that it isn't doing them justice or that some of the spontaneity is missing. There is a lot to discover in a Yes performance. This most playable album will help bring many more on the trail of good music. So that's an interesting review in that it doesn't mention progressive rock. It is too early to mention progressive rock. But there is an appreciation for this kind of music, the depth of it, the musicality, and the writer is saying, look, if you just want good quality music, this is here. What I find really interesting about a review like this is they seem to be way more open-minded to really weird, freaky music with weird lyrics and long songs. I mean, he's basically writing this like, it's just another pop album, but it's a pretty good one, right? But it's pretty radical music, right? And yet it just kind of goes on with a pleasant sort of complimentary attitude that, these guys seem to be really good musicians, blah, blah, blah. So I really like that, you read a review like that, you're definitely not going to be scared away by this music, but the normie, the average person, the newbie, whatever you want to call it, you would think just a young person who buys records would get this record and find it quite more odd and weird and obscure that this review would lead us to believe. So there you go. Let us know in the comments below. You like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Whether this reviewer got this right. I thought it was a pretty solid, dependable review, and obviously very complimentary. It sounds like there's a lot of goodwill on the ground. The last thing I want to mention is, that mention of covers. Because on the first 2 albums, there's a bit of that going on, and those songs kind of rose to the ranks. So it sounded like they were briefly in danger of being lauded more for cover songs than originals, which is kind of weird. So there you go. Another edition of Reliving Old Reviews, Useless Tool of Confusion.